This is a Gear Network production.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Mr. Perez, and you're listening to the Better Live Than Dead podcast, brought to you exclusively on Gear Network. Listen in.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Better Live Than Dead, episode 36 and a half.
36.5.
Live now here at the Gear Network headquarters.
36.50.
John Cimino.
That's
Luis
me.
Perez. Brandon the Intern.
Brandon the Intern's here.
Ryan Wolf. And
Dawn's here too.
Dawn's
Her
here,
mic's on, but she might
does
not
she
be.
want to? Does she want to impart some baseball wisdom or not?
Probably not.
Okay, fair enough.
You can just talk.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Whenever I mention the Red Sox, just tell me how much you hate them, and then we'll. Is that good? Is that fair?
Okay.
Okay, fair
You
enough.
got a smile out of her, and that was great.
I knew it would work.
All right, turn it on the charm. You are a young wolf.
So I was sitting here and I was thinking about this recently. Obviously, with the All In we just recorded a few minutes ago, I felt with having the whole gang together, we had to talk baseball. With
Yes.
baseball coming up soon,
Yes.
Oh.
and
For
I
our Spanish-speaking friends, beesball.
and I thank you. We are bilingual, and whatever Canada speaks. Hi Canada, whatever they speak.
Hi, Canada.
Oh.
Hi, Canada.
Baseball A. See, we're like trilingual right there.
That was terrible.
Thank you. That was
terrible. Like, you
It was terrible.
Charles Barkley.
Terrible.
That was terrible.
That was terrible.
I love it whenever someone says terrible, and we all give our Charles Barkley impression.
Terrible.
You can thank Frank Caliendo for that one.
Now I was sitting here and I got the magazine, the Sports Illustrated magazine, where where Sports Illustrated is shining the hypothetical knob of the Washington Nationals, like everybody is.
They do that every year, though.
I feel like there's a team every year where they say this is going to be the
but
year.
like the Nationals have been like this great team that's going to the World Series for the past 3 years.
Well, they've had a lot of talent. They just
Not a very good manager.
The problem is that when you put your eggs in one basket, and if a couple of those eggs break, you're screwed. And that's kind of what happened. I mean,
Exactly.
Strasburg wasn't as good. Bryce Harper was hurt. I mean, they picked up Max Scherzer this offseason, and it might solidify that rotation because they've got a very, very solid rotation. But we'll get into that. Now, we don't really have a structure to the podcast today. We're just going to talk.
Do we ever?
Not really, no.
No,
ever?
we've rarely ever.
I want to
structure.
I want to start off in the National League East, mentioning the Washington Nationals. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this one. The Phillies will probably. Do you think the Phillies will lose 100 games this year?
I think they're going to win the
yes.
World Series.
They've got the Phillies have, or the
bold.
Sports Illustrated has the Phillies going 63.
Yeah, we're not quite at bold predictions yet, Perez.
Pump the brakes, dog. Come on. But they have the Nationals winning the division. I think that's fair. I don't see. I mean, the Marlins are they've improved, but they're the Marlins.
They're the Marlins.
If they're
They-
healthy, the Marlins will challenge them.
The Mets
They won't take the division.
again.
No.
The Mets are the Mets. Braves. The Braves suck. The Barvs. Hashtag Barvs on Twitter. So I've got a strong feeling the Nationals will take that one easily. I mean, the Marlins might be in the
Going
argument.
away,
They might be
as
the
they say.
Marlins might be in the argument for the wild card, but I certainly think that the Nationals are winning the
The Marlins are not going to be, again, as the intern over here, or Turd Ferguson, as I like to call him sometimes, likes to go ahead and likes to say, if they're healthy, good. They'll get a good run, but they are the Marlins, and chances are either the injury bug or the trade bug is gonna hurt them like usual. The Marlins are not going. They'll win a World Series, and then they'll just
implode.
fire sale.
Yeah, fire sale. Everybody.
They haven't really
ago.
they haven't really done anything since their fire sale.
Well, they've tried to acquire young talent, and obviously with Giancarlo Stanton, they're building around the young talent now. But you get kind of weirded out with that team because the ownership is just you don't ever know what they're going to do. You don't know what direction
They like
they're
to
going
keep you
in.
guessing.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
But not
Like the
really
design of their ballpark.
not really in a good way though. It's not always like it's not like hey something cool's going to happen. We just don't know what. It's always like something cool may happen, but it's probably going to suck.
Yeah.
Just prepare yourself.
Okay.
Moving over to the National League Central now, they have the Cardinals winning the division, going 91-71. I mean, I think that's they've got the Pirates second, 88-74, which would be a wild card.
I take it back. I think the Cubs are going to win the World Series.
I think you're high.
They said it in Back to the Future, too. It
What
is
the-
their year.
It is their year. That's right.
I mean, I think the Cardinals, they're the class of the Central. I don't see why they wouldn't. But the interesting thing are the Cubs. I mean, they've spent a ton of cash this offseason picking up guys like John Lester. They've got Chris Bryant, who is
Waiting in the wings.
ready to come up. May not play for 12 days because of obviously if it's 12 days, it pushes the year back. We talked about that on last week's podcast. But I mean, I think if the Cubs go 500 this year, that's big for them.
That's huge.
They've got a ton of kids, and they just got to keep building on what they have, and they've got the right guy at the helm. I don't like Joe Madden very much, but he's a smart baseball guy.
He makes a good video game. Oh wait, that's
you're thinking of John Madden.
Yes, I know.
That
Thank
was
you.
a rim shot.
I know. Thank you.
Well done.
You're good.
We had a good thing going, and Perez just kind of pissed all over it. Thank you.
Yeah,
You're welcome. That's what I do.
Yeah, thank you.
Moving over to the National League West now, the Dodgers again spending a crap ton of money.
The intern is a diehard Giants fan.
Yes. I picked up on that one.
Okay.
Picked up
I
on that one. I mean, the Dodgers. If the Dodgers don't do anything, it's I don't know.
I think the Rock is going to win that division.
It's just good that the Dodgers aren't in the Central because the
you are totally
just
your sports analytics today, Lewis, are just amazing.
He doesn't seem to care very much.
No, he does not.
I'm just playing, man.
He likes the sports.
I'm making bold predictions.
I guess
on
the question. I guess Perez. The question. Here's the bold
Lewis
prediction.
Perez on sports. Porn.
That's right.
Will the Giants be good this year, or will they be bad? Because remember, they're good, bad, good, bad. It's their year to be bad.
Right. This is their year to be bad.
Will they be good or bad?
I believe that they're going to be mediocre.
Way to go out on a limb there, Lewis.
I haven't
No
said this in a while,
problem.
but I do,
Thanks for
Perez. I would gladly smack the out of you right now.
Go ahead. You can attempt to.
You're irritating me with
I'm
this.
telling you, one of these weeks, it's going to actually happen. Like that's the usual Better Live Than Dead script. Brandon is Lewis will say something. Ryan will then turn around and say he's going to slap the out of him.
One day you're just going to hear that.
And then Perez says you could try. So I'm thinking,
oh no, you didn't.
all I'm thinking. This is what I'm hearing.
The chair gets up and then
Right.
This is my rendition of it. This is what I think is going to happen. It's probably be like Better Live Than Dead episode 46 and a half. Here we go. So
We are at 46 and a half.
I'm going to slap the out of you, Perez. You could try. Ow.
You probably should write down.
Oh, no, then?
Oh, okay.
Yo, Ryan, you okay?
Write down what time that was said, because if not, I'll forget to edit it out. I've done that before, multiple times. Moving over to the American League West now. They have the curse words, Perez. Remember, we're a PG podcast.
Oh, man, I don't remember what they...
You just swore?
you just said ish twice.
Whatever, it's fine.
You said ish, and I said ish.
They've got the Mariners winning the division, 95 games over the Angels at 92 with 3 games back. They have the A's at 81 and 81, which is kind of... The A's took a step back this offseason, yes, but I don't know if they're going to go 500 this year. That seems a little bit of a risky pick.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. The A's they've been the last couple of years. They've been historically very so.
If anything,
they really haven't done anything to get it better.
Well, if anything, I believe the Angels will probably take a step back.
The A's have been in the wild card the last 2 years.
Yeah, but they've been so wild card.
They made a pretty strong run yet last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago they did. That's right.
They went over the Rangers.
I'm going with the Astros in that division this year.
I think the
Jose Altuve all the way.
I think I don't think the Angels are going to be as good as they say.
No, but I think the Angels are still going to be dangerous.
Absolutely,
you can't overlook them.
Well, if they
keep saying Hamilton gets over his demons.
Well, they keep saying Albert Pujols is as healthy as ever as he's been since he came to Los Angeles.
Listen, well, no, because just like you said in every.
Well, listen. Let me explain. He's had a foot problem since he came to Los Angeles. He had like plantar fasciitis.
My feet is no good, man.
Exactly.
Because he doesn't have anyone to massage him.
Finished.
But now he says he feels better. So maybe.
Is my foot fetish? Is mine?
I let my leg play with my feet too much.
I play
and it hurts.
He needs someone to play with him more. That's the problem.
The interesting thing.
Josh Hamilton is play with my foot, man.
I like it.
I like my toes.
Moving to the AL Central, the one thing that kind of shocks me, they have the Indians winning 92 games and winning the division.
Who has this? Sports Illustrated?
They may be a little rich in that one.
Might be a little bit.
They've got the Tigers winning 87 and the Royals winning 78. I'm sorry, but the Royals, the run,
Royals behind the White Sox.
The run last year to the World Series, improbable.
But it was awesome.
It was amazing.
It was great. But it shows you how much talent that team has. You're telling me they're going to come back this year and win 78 games?
I don't think so.
That's ridiculous.
I don't think so.
I agree with you.
They finish ahead.
No, that division is going to be interesting because the White Sox are getting better, the Royals are good, the Tigers are good, and the Indians are getting better. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a lot going on there, but I mean,
that's the new AL East.
Yeah, it may be a division where it may be a division where someone may jump out, and then the second place for the wild card may be a race. But
I hope the Royals do it again.
I hope the Royals, a lot of young, fun players to watch play baseball.
Now, Ryan, this is your podcast, and I'm not telling you how to run it, but we are hitting the 10-minute mark right now. Do you want to cut to commercial and then go to the East? Or
we could just cut to a commercial because we got to throw commercials in somehow.
Okay.
Let's just do some commercials.
All right.
You're the producer. I'm the podcasting guy. You're the producer because you're behind the computer. So if you say commercial, we go to commercial.
Yeah, normally we just talk.
I know. We're going to a commercial.
While you're listening to this podcast, make sure you follow us on social media. You can follow me at WolfSHC on Twitter. You can also follow Mr. Perez at MRLG Perez. Make sure to like the podcast on Facebook. That's facebook.com/BLTD Podcast. And make sure to follow Gear Network on Twitter at GERE Network.
This free and independent sportscast is made possible when you shop the Gear Network store through Amazon. Visit GearNetwork.com and click on the Amazon banner to shop through Amazon's thousands of products at great prices delivered right to your front door. Again, that's GearNetwork.com and click the Amazon banner at the top.
Better live than dead on the Gear Radio Network.
You want to take it?
And now it's time to go into the NL East.
AL East.
AL East.
I know. I'm playing with you people.
Want to try that one again?
I'm doing this one on purpose.
Here.
I'm just messing with y'all on purpose.
Press 3, 2, 1. You're good.
And now it's time to go to the AL East.
How hard was that? Very hard, apparently.
I don't know. I was a fan of his first.
Now the four out of 5 of us at this table, Perez, Dawn, John, Yankees fans. I'm a Red Sox fan, so this is why I kept the East for last because the number of people to talk about this is.
It's going to be a very painful year for Yankees fans.
Well, first off,
wait,
before we
Perez,
start with
you've
the
been
Yankees,
giving bold predictions all day. I'm going to give you one. Alex Rodriguez is going to be the MVP.
That's a very bold prediction.
I hate Alex.
You want some crack with that?
He's
Yes, please.
I'm not a fan.
Well, here's the deal. First off, in the American League East, the question I have for all of you: do you think, because they don't have a team hitting 90 wins? Mm-hmm. Do you think any team in the American League East this year hits 90 wins?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, the Red Sox rotation is too suspect. The Yankees are too old. The Orioles are kind of, who knows what the Orioles are doing? Because one year they're really good, and the next year they're kind of like, well, we were really good last year, but we kind of forgot how to play baseball.
No,
and then the Rays, they've kind of retooled their team again, where they have a new manager, young manager, who, I'll tell you what, Kevin Cash, he's an a-hole. Because I remember in Rochester years ago, Pawtucket was playing. He played for the Pawtucket Red Sox. And he walked right by my brother and I. We said, "Hey, can we get an autograph?" Real nice. He was on the phone. We just held out a ball or whatever. And he looks at us. He goes, "Can't you see him on the damn phone?" And kept walking and gets on the ball. We didn't say a word to him. I'm like, what an asshole that guy is.
Lewis is laughing.
But I mean, I think it's gonna.
He was on the phone with Lewis when it was happening. This is what happened.
That's what happened.
Honestly, I'm not, and this is not a biased thing because I'm sure you all say it's because I'm a Red Sox fan. I don't think the Yankees are gonna be that good this year.
No, listen. You know what?
I'm a diehard Yankees fan.
They're not going to be good this year. They're old. They're old, and
they don't really know what they're.
And then the gaps that they're trying to fill in with their old players, they're filling them with either
being taken up with the CC Sabathia girth.
Yeah.
He is.
Hey,
back
listen,
in full form.
I think he's going to pitch better now.
He's in full form.
He's probably going
He
to
looks
pitch better.
sloppier than he used to.
Yeah, but he lost weight. He got sucky, so now he's put weight back on. So I think.
Well, there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk for a while that he had an elbow problem. That's why he was overcompensating, which caused his knees to mess up. Then he lost weight to make his knees feel better, and then he was still obviously overcompensating, and now he's trying to figure it all back out. Again.
You're going by Sports Illustrated.
What is?
I want to actually.
You have CBS, right?
Actually, no, I have About Sports.
Okay.
Because for some reason CBS wasn't working.
Okay.
And they are kind of in the same boat with the American League East being the MLB's worst division. They say, and I quote, the Orioles lost Nelson Cruz and Nick Markakis in free agency. This is why they think it's going to be that. And they haven't made any significant additions. Baltimore's banking on Matt Wieters and Manny Machado returning to health and being very productive, and it really needs Ubaldo Jimenez to pitch like he did for the Indians, which is probably not going to be
Good luck.
happening.
He was great. He was great that 1 year for the Rockies, and he's kind of been overrated ever since.
Now, here's what they say. As you might have noticed, About Sports are not fans of the Yankees, and they think that the Rays will continue to decline. The Blue Jays added Russell Martin in free agency and traded for Josh Donaldson, but they've yet to get help for a pitching staff that ranked 22nd in ERA, 22nd in starters ERA, and 25th in bullpen ERA in 2014.
But before we move on, I do want to say about the Blue Jays. They will
add people every year.
They're going to win games. They have a very talented offense, but the problem is they are going to continue to rely on their offense to win them games. So when they go through a stretch where they're hitting 225 or 230 as a team, they'll lose 8 or 9 games, and that's just how it works with them. That's how they've always been. Because apparently,
I would say that 230 probably be better than what A-Rod bats this entire season.
Yeah,
my bold prediction. I think Alex Rodriguez, if he stays healthy, if he stays in the lineup, he could he'll probably hit 15 or 20 home runs. He'll probably bat 225 or 230, but he'll get home runs. He still has the pop. It's just we'll see.
He's had a pretty good spring, but then again, it's in Tampa and. He's fresh, but once he gets up to New York,
it's all how they manage him.
Right.
If he's playing every day, I doubt it. But if he's
and Perez, we have him for 3 more seasons. Woo!
Yay!
That's the
dude career 299 batting average on steroids.
That's the biggest.
Suck.
That's the biggest.
Whoa!
That's the biggest trade. I'm glad never happened. I know.
Knows where I was going with this.
Yes, I do.
I know that Manny Ramirez was for most of the time. Just completely hopped up on steroids.
Nah,
but
man,
that trade
was use. I have use. It was
that
good.
trade was. I'm glad that trade never happened, because that would have been then John Lester would have ended up in Texas, and these last 10 years with the Red Sox probably would have been a lot different.
The last 10 years for you Red Sox fans would have probably been like the last 10 years for us Yankees fans would have been. Now, I mean, you still would have had your Dustin Pedroias and the people that you could like look to and be like, hey, that's a good guy. Like we had Derek Jeter. But in the same, it was like, Alex Rodriguez again. You're not paying attention to your team. You're throwing out baseballs to girls in the crowd with your number on it, saying "call me."
Hey,
you're kissing yourself in the mirror for Sports Illustrated. Conveniently, it's just you guys are lucky in that aspect.
Just a heads up, it just went final. I know we're talking baseball, but Michigan State just beat Louisville.
Good job, Michigan State. Michigan State always makes a run.
70.
It's a lot of fun.
Sparty.
All right.
Johnson is spreading
all
over the audience.
I think
Michigan State's one of those college basketball teams that always seems to make a run. They always seem to be right there.
I think just going back to baseball now. I think that the Red Sox...
Brandon, you son of a bitch. I have a cough and you're making me die over here.
If the Red Sox can figure out the rotation, they can probably win the division, but if they can't, it's going to be another long year.
About Sports thinks that they're going to win the division by default, and it's going to be basically because that their lineup is good.
Yeah,
their rotation.
Rotation is talented, but they have to get it figured out. If they can't get it figured out, it's going to be a long year.
I'm with them, and I'm with you. The Sox are going to win that division.
Being a Giants fan and watching Pablo Sandoval all these years, if he maintains his weight,
happy about it.
If he maintains his weight. He'll play. He'll produce for you. If he doesn't, he's going to be like.
He's still
2010.
He's still a big dude. Yeah, he's keeping the weight on, and
in
it's
the World Series
with Hanley Ramirez, with Pablo Sandoval, with Mike Napoli being healthy again because Mike Napoli's had problems with sleep apnea. They actually had to break his jaw in the offseason and rebuild his face.
Why?
Because he wasn't sleeping right.
They make CPAP machines for that, right?
Tried it all, man.
You don't have to break a jaw.
They tried it all. They rebuilt his face for him, so he's sleeping now.
$6 million man.
Yeah.
We have the technology.
But I want to move over, Perez. I want to move over to the postseason.
This is what I like about doing the podcast with him. Is like with us, we'll get off a little tad, just have some fun. He can't do it. Like he's got to stay
problem with it, but I'm trying to keep this
straight straight line.
I'm trying to keep this podcast. I'm trying to keep this podcast.
Sounds like you're just going through puberty there.
I'm saying.
I'm
hilarious. I'm trying to talk like Ryan.
I'm trying to keep this podcast on the rails. Because I'm trying to keep it so we're going in a direction. We're talking about one thing.
All right, I'll tell you what. You know what's a great way to do that?
What's
commercial break every 10 minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
So go ahead, Ryan. Send us to commercial.
We'll be back. Commercial
right after this.
Thanks, Ryan.
No problem.
Do you enjoy listening to Better Live Than Dead, but you're not always by your laptop to hear it on GearNetwork.com? Not to worry, we've got you covered. Better Live Than Dead and all other Gear Network podcasts can now be heard on iHeartRadio, iTunes, in the Zune Marketplace, on SoundCloud, Spreaker, Stitcher Radio, and on TuneIn Radio. So make sure you get one of the aforementioned apps to stay up to date with the latest Gear Network podcasts.
A successful product does not become a successful product on its own. Look at the Gear Radio Network, for example. We're a prime example. We had a lot of help getting here, and we can help you get where you want to go to. Advertising rates are very low to start off here on the Gear Radio Network. Visit us at gearnetwork.com. Click on the contact link to send us an email, and we can work out the details. Again, advertise your product across all of the forums at a low, low rate here on the Gear Radio Network.
Washington, I'm talking baseball. Klazuski, Campanella, talking baseball. The man and Bobby Fella, the Scooter, the Barber, and the Duke. They knew them all from Boston to Dubuque. Especially with
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I did that on purpose because I knew he was going to say welcome.
Oh, well done there.
What a bastard.
Perez.
36.5 people.
Breaking news, Dawn has quit the podcast.
She hasn't. She's here in spirit.
She's retired to the sofa.
Nothing wrong with that.
We're talking baseball. Listen, you're not bringing up much of the Red Wings or the Gear guy. Shut up, Lewis. The Gear guy. So she's bounced, man. She's done.
Well, hey, you know what? We mentioned the Gear guy before. We'll talk about the Red Wings soon, but we're trying to get Major League Baseball out of the way. So we
understand.
I feel like we have to do this. It's like a formality. We have to get this done. So when we talk about baseball, people can't go back and say, "Well, you didn't predict."
We can come back and do a minor league at another time. It's okay.
We'll talk about the Red Wings. Believe me, I've got some plans.
We've got all season for
Got
that.
some plans.
All right, go ahead.
But we're going to talk about now. We're going to talk about Sports Illustrated's postseason predictions, and we're going to make fun of them because they are ridiculous.
Okay.
Now they've got the Tigers over the Angels in the AL wild card. Fair enough. I think that can happen. They've got the Pirates over the Marlins in the NL wild card game. Again, totally plausible. They've got the Mariners over the Tigers in the ALDS, and the Indians over the Red Sox in the ALDS. I don't think the Indians are going to be that good. Good enough. I mean, the Mariners, if the Mariners have improved, like last year, the Mariners got close to the playoffs and realized, hey, we need to put a few more parts into the machine to make this thing better.
Right.
They figured it out. They're better. I don't know if they're that good. The Tigers are still the Tigers. I mean, they added Yoenis Cespedes. If Justin Verlander's hurt and misses any time, maybe they're out a little. Maybe they're down a little further. But if it, I can't bet against the Tigers.
Okay.
At this point.
Okay.
Moving over to the NLDS, they've got the Nationals over the Pirates. Fair. They've got the Dodgers over the Cardinals, which sign me up.
No.
Sign me up for that series.
Absolutely not happening whatsoever.
I don't think the Dodgers beat the Cardinals, but sign me up for that series. Give me 7 games of that. I don't care who wins the World Series. They're always a lot of fun to watch. In the ALCS, they have the Indians over the Mariners. Perez, can we get a hearty laugh on that one?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
I think that's going to happen.
There's his bold prediction again. You know what? His name,
the Astros and the Indians.
His name is good. His name is Bold Prediction Perez today.
BP, you down with BPP?
Actually, I do see the Red Sox losing too. I think that's a very good prediction.
And they have the Nationals over the Dodgers. So in the World Series, they have the Indians and the Nationals, with the Indians winning the first World Series since the 40s.
No, that's stupid.
Seriously?
The Indians haven't won since like the.
Well, no. I know that they haven't won since.
No, they have the Indians over the Nationals. Yeah.
They have the Indians over the Nationals in the World Series.
Yeah.
Not happening.
If the Nationals play the Indians in the World Series, it means the Nationals are firing on all cylinders. I would not bet against them.
Yeah.
A lot has to go right for the Nationals to get that far and to be that good.
And then they lose.
But who's going to win the All-Star game? And get home field? You got to go to the Natty Park or the Jake. Jake could be the deciding factor in this fantasy that Sports Illustrated has that the Indians are going to be in the World Series.
I think Cleveland would lose their mind.
I can see the West winning the All-Star game this year.
What's the West?
Kobe's the MVP.
Yes.
Steph Curry's playing third base.
That's right.
I'm glad Perez showed up for the podcast today.
Yeah, he showed up. He's here. Physically, mentally, he's somewhere else.
Yeah.
He's
comfortable. He's back leaning to the right.
I'm doing all this stuff on purpose. I'm having fun with it.
So now when the season actually starts and we go back and look at this, and John and I are like, oh yeah, we were right about that. And Perez is like, oh, the Rockies didn't win the World Series.
I'll be pissed.
You can be mad about
Where's
it.
my Astros?
Exactly.
Now the sad thing would be,
I can see the National League winning the All-Star game.
the very sad thing. You know what the very sad thing would be?
What's that?
is if the World Series was indeed the Houston Astros and the Colorado Rockies, and the Rockies won the World Series.
That'd be tremendous.
And Perez predicted it all.
I think Perez would just quit the podcast.
At that point, I would never play a prediction thing again.
That would be awesome.
If he did that,
Tremendous.
Coming from the man who did win the Gear Network NFL Pick'em.
He did.
The Houston ballpark, the new food they created this year.
What did they create?
They got a waffle cone stuffed with mashed potatoes, popcorn chicken drizzled with honey mustard.
That sounds tremendous.
It does sound tremendous.
I want chicken fingers, you guys.
What the hell was
Road
that,
trip.
Ryan?
I'm hungry. I'm very
Chicken
hungry.
fingers sound
Was that
Road trip.
Was that a growl?
That was a groan.
Well,
that was a groan.
I love chicken
Kansas
fingers.
City road trip.
It's a no wonder why you single. You grown like that during the
I don't.
between
That's
the
not,
sheets
that's,
times,
I'm
and
talking
that's
about
it.
food. When you talk about food, man, I love food.
Foodgasm.
I love food.
Those bits of
I love me
chicken
some
all over
food.
his mic.
Food.porn. All right.
I guess this has been a podcast.
This has indeed been a podcast.
Gonna go around the circle. We'll give your Twitter feeds and then we'll peace out. Perez?
MRLG Perez at Twitter and Instagram.
The JC Money.
Brandon S. Gorell. Very creative.
Wolf SHC on tweets. Wolfensteiner on Instagram. BetterLiveThanDead.com. Not BetterLiveThanDead.com. Facebook.com /BetterLiveThanDead.
Honorable
BLTD
mention,
Podcast.
Princess 1078.
Yes, Dawn. Let's try the link again one more time. Facebook.com /BLTD Podcast.
Yes.
That's
Very
the
good.
website.
Very good.
Also coming soon.
GearNetwork.com.
Coming soon. BetterLiveThanDead.porn.
Jesus Christ.
For all those
Literally,
rigor mortis fans.
figuratively and literally coming soon.
Oh, God.
Guys shivering. Rigor mortis. Oh.
I got nothing, man.
Got nothing?
This is your close.
Perez for Better Live Than Dead. I just completely forgot what we do there.
Dude,
We are Better Live Than Dead.
you're not.
We'll be back sometime next week. hopefully.
Adios.
If we don't get kicked off the air by the FCC.
I got a fart.
Bye.